Hey guys, it's me, the Halloween Nightmare, and today I am making a comparison video on all four of the Mr. Dark mechanism animatronics. So, basically what I'm going to do is just go over each one and kind of say some differences between each, and like obviously right off the bat you can tell there's a lot of cosmetic differences and like detail and such, but let's go ahead and get into it. So first we have Mr. Dark, who came out in 2021. This guy, I got him in 2021. He was $250, which I think is pretty good for him. He's pretty basic. He's only got a black cloak with minimal creepy cloth, but I do like his face a lot. I think his face has pretty good detail, and his hands, they have alright detail, nothing crazy. Then next, in 2023, we got Hellspawn, and he is more of a devil type character. His head has pretty decent detail. He has the horns, and his hands, they don't really have any like sculpted detail. Not as much as Mr. Dark, but it's there, but it's pretty smoothed out. But I do think he looks pretty good. And then 2024, we got Towering Tallulah, and she's a witch. She has probably the same amount of detail as Hellspawn, but like her hands are all smoothed out. But she has more detail than Hellspawn, but her paint is the worst out of all of them. You can see it's kind of sloppy on her hands and her teeth. And then this year we got the Sinister Straw Man. He has probably the most detail out of all of them. You can see all the detail on his face, the stitches, the burlap look, and his hands have a lot of nice detail. Then his clothes in general just have a lot of nice detail. And he has the hat with the robe, all the creepy cloth. But yeah, like I said, you can kind of tell an evolution. Like, he is the most simple. He has minimal creepy cloth, and he's all one solid color. Then Hellspawn has more creepy cloth, and he's still just one. He's basically just still one color. And then we have Tula, who is two colors of brown and green, and she has hair. And then this Straw Man has all kinds of stuff added. He has a hip loop, he has the belt, the hat, the hay, the burlap sack around his neck, just a lot more detail. And then these two, they both have the straight cut ends on their the bottom of their robes, and these two have the all cut up flared looking ones. These are basically all the same height when they jump up, but my Mr. Dark's springs are kind of stretched out because he's pretty old now, 4 years old of use. I've never had any issues with him, but he's 4 years old of use, so his springs have gone stretched out kind of over time. I do recommend keeping all, like, if you get these, what I'll do is I'll unplug them as they're jumping up so their mechanisms aren't locked, and then I'll disconnect the mechanism and the springs so their springs don't get stretched out. So I went back and lifted up all their cloaks, and as you can see, they're all basically the same, but they do have some differences. The main differences are these wires. They're the same on Hellspawn and Mr. Dark, and then they switch over to a better type on Tallulah and Straw Man. But Mr. Dark has a black control box. This is actually a Hellspawn mechanism because I heard that the 2021 models of Mr. Dark were having issues with jumping, so I just went ahead and switched it out for a Hellspawn mechanism. And then this is not part of the prop. This is a multi-prop remote, but you can see he has foot pad and speaker jack, and then he has on, off, and foot pad, and he can also take batteries. But yeah, that's pretty much the same. Mine has, I put these zip ties on him because, like I said, his springs are kind of stretched out, so that just helps him jump up faster. And then Hellspawn, you can see he has a white control box, and then his control box is actually a little different. He still takes batteries and he still has all the same settings, but his control box is white and the wires are the same, like I said. And they started to add, I don't remember if Mr. Dark came with this originally, but I'm pretty sure this was added with maybe the second year of Mr. Dark. But they put these on them to stop the fabric from getting caught. And then Tallulah has the same options as Hellspawn, but hers says external trigger instead of foot pad. And then her wires are obviously updated, the harnesses and such. And these are a lot more sturdy. The wires do not get ripped out as easily. And then I'm pretty sure her mechanism is the exact same. But I'm not exactly, like I'm not 100% sure. And then on the Straw Man, he has the same connectors as Tallulah, but he has off external trigger, on, and then motion only. And then everything else is the same. So another difference is Mr. Dark has this light sensor, and then Hellspawn has this light sensor, but then Tallulah has an IR sensor. So you would think that they like, oh yeah, they're updating it, and then you would think he has it, but no. What is that? That is a light sensor, and that is my main complaint about him. I love it. He's my favorite of the Mr. Darks, but he has that light sensor, and it sucks. I wish they would just completely just get rid of the light sensor in the industry. It sucks. You have to really rely on external triggers or just sound if they have a light sensor, because in a haunt, these things with light sensors just never go off. But since Tallulah has a IR sensor, I just put her on motion because she can pick you up in the dark and everything. So it's a lot. IR sensors are a lot better than light sensors, and I really hope they stop using these light sensors. But yeah, the main, like for the most part, these three had the same quality bodies and such, like the arms and wires and hands. But this guy, he has way thicker arms. Like the wire and arms are way thicker and sturdier, and then his hands are like way thicker plastic. I think his overall like upper body is way heavier than that. But he's still kind of, he jumps slightly slower than them, but he still is decently fast. But yeah, that is basically all the differences I can think of with these guys. So here are their boxes. You can see this is a 2021 box, and then Mr. Dark was sold the next year for 2022, and then Hellspawn has a 2023 box, 2024, and then this is the 2025 box. And you see for the most part these ones are the same. The background just changes a little bit, but then he has this little box that has information and another picture of him. And then if I flip them all off to the side, you can see for basically these three are the same, and then the Straw Man has this big picture of him on the side. Then the backs. These all are the same for the most part, the same information, just laid out a little bit differently. And then on the other side, they are all the same with the two pictures, but the Straw Man's pictures are bigger than the rest. And the Straw Man's box is just bigger than the rest in general. You can tell it's wider and slightly taller. I'm not really sure why. I really don't know. But yeah, and then the Straw Man has this QR code. But yeah, that is all the differences I can think, including the boxes. I would say that the Straw Man is the best, then Hellspawn, then Mr. Dark, and then Tallulah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and let me go ahead and demo them for you guys.